What's going on, everybody? This is Renegade number one, aka the feminist killer, hashtag Logitorian. Do you think this world actually has your best interests? Do you actually believe that people actually want you to be a leader, that they actually want you to be different? Or is that just something they say just to keep you preoccupied? The reality is they want you to be in their confines. They want you to be in confinement. They want you to be controlled mentally. In order to control the body, you have to control the mind. In order to control the body, you have to control the mind. Understand that. Let that sink in for a moment. That means basically public school is a joke. That once you come in this world, you're being put through this system of following directions. Keyword, following directions. They want you to do what you're told to do. As a kid, you cannot think for yourself. And you're probably thinking, because it's normal, that, oh, there's no doubt that a kid doesn't do what they're not supposed to do what they want to do. They're not supposed to think for themselves. They're supposed to follow directions because the adult knows what's best for them. That's probably what most of y'all think. And that is a mindset of a person who's they're in acceptance of being a slave. They are in acceptance of being a compliant prisoner. And my thing is, why would a master want his slave to be smarter than him? The master is going to teach the slave to be beneath him, to follow his orders. But at the same time, he's also going to entertain and keep him pacified. Right? And that's where, they'll give you a career, say you can make a lot of money, but you're still a slave. They use that as a diversion to pacify you. Right? And most people actually don't want to be free. As long as they're making money, they're content with being a fucking slave. And that's not what I'm about. I'm about freeing of the mind. If you are about freeing of the mind and not about external materialism, then you will understand what I'm talking about. Being an NPC is not what you're supposed to be. If you allow this world to dictate how you think, if you allow this world to dictate, where you work and shit like that, dictate your pace, it's going to chew you up and spit you out. You're going to be a product of your society. And that's not a good thing. You don't want to be a product of this synthetic world that we live in. Humans are savages by nature. You have to look at the bigger picture. Don't just look at things on a small level. And don't just go off of what you've been told. Look at the bigger picture. You are another person that needs to be conditioned. You are another person that needs to be a contributing member to society. That's all you are, is a contributing member to society. Just another worker. That's it. You're nothing special. You're another NPC. That's ultimately what public schools condition our kids into. Condition the kids into. They condition them into NPCs, non-playable characters, secondary characters. They don't want us to think the same. They don't want us to think differently. They don't want us to think outside the box. They want us to think within the box. Most of you guys probably think that because something is normal, it is the right thing to do. I'm just going to let you guys know, who gives a fuck about acceptance? Who gives a fuck if it's accepted or not? Stop looking for what's accepted and look for what's actually the right way. And sometimes the right way may be perceived by many as the wrong way because it's not done by many. Think about it like this. The most successful people who are labeled, stigmatized as geniuses, they thought outside the box. And if you want people to actually understand you, if you want people to actually follow you, you have to think outside the box. You do yourself no good by following the pack of sheep, knowing it's wrong, knowing the ideology is wrong. Don't just contribute to a bad cause because, everybody's doing it. That's NPC thought. If you think that because something is normal, that makes it acceptable, you're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. And some of you may be one of those fucking idiots, and that's fine. I'm not insulting you. I'm just saying the truth. If you think it's normal, you need to really step back and ask yourself, what does normal really mean? Are you just looking to be accepted, or are you actually looking to make change in a positive manner? Are you looking to make sacrifices? Are you just one of those people that, I just want to exist. I don't really care if I'm doing the right thing or the wrong thing, like a typical degenerate would say. I think we have to learn not to be selfish in the sense that, hey, you may not reap the benefits of the change that you're trying to enact, but the future generations could. And that's how we have to think. I'm sorry, man. Like, when I hear people talk, even adults, it's just like they're not even really thinking about what they're saying. They're just repeating and regurgitating information that's been shoved down their throats. A lot of people want to take, like I said this before, a lot of people have Stockholm syndrome. If you don't know what Stockholm syndrome is, basically the person submits to their bullshit, that they submit to their oppressor. They accept their oppression. They take in the information that they initially rejected. A lot of people don't want to acknowledge the elephant in the room. They genuinely say there's nothing there when they know there is. People lie to themselves because they are afraid of being outlawed. They're afraid of dealing with the negatives. Pain is good. I would rather go out of this world being looked at as a mentally ill, crazy piece of shit than to be just another person. I think that's what makes people unique, is when they have a vision and they protect that vision, right? You have to understand, other people trying to force you to conform to the norm does not have to be your reality. It's only your reality if you allow it to become that way. You gotta decide, do you want to be a weak individual, or do you want to be a determined individual who is destined to protect what is theirs, which is their mind? Don't allow no one to indoctrinate your mind, tell you what's right and what's wrong. Don't allow no one to tell you what's stupid and what's intelligent. And I think too many people rely on acceptance, rely on what's good and what's bad, instead of looking at their own judgment and trusting their own judgment, right? And that's where insecurities come in as well. You have to ask yourself this question: if you are secure in yourself, you will have a better opportunity going your own way from the mainstream society. You will have more confidence trusting yourself. But when you are in this cycle of uncertainty, you're always going to look forward to the normalcy of things. And I think the majority of people are insecure about themselves. That's why they say, oh, I do this because it's normal. I do this because it's normal. They say they do things because they're normal because they want to be accepted. Instead of going for what's right, they want to be accepted. If smoking cigarettes is the norm, which it is the norm, most people will do it, regardless of how detrimental it is to their health. They don't care if it's bad. They'll just do it anyway because they want to be accepted. And I just think, personally, that's a problem. And I'm tying this all in to say, most people will not change their blue pill lifestyle because being an NPC, you are numb to the reality around you. And you also put yourself in this rim of acceptance. You understand? Everybody doesn't want to be the lone wolf. So just that alone, me explaining that and understanding that you will always be the minority. There will never be unity. As human beings, there will never be unity. You will always be the minority. And it's sad, that as kids, when we come into this world, we are being brainwashed and bamboozled by government thugs. People that say they have our best interests. And only thing they're doing is selling us a dream. That's all they're selling you is a dream. And my thing is, you got to decide, do you want to break out of this three-dimensional world that you call the real world, and actually self-object? Do you know how to self-object? Do you lack self-awareness? These are questions that you need to ask yourself. If you lack introspection, that's something that you really need to work on. Having self-awareness, being aware that the same person that's in the classroom with you, the same person that is in the same society as you, they're being conditioned just like you to compete just like you. You're going against yourself. You're all being a bunch of trained dogs designed to fight each other. And the government, only the elite actually have control. So we're like a bunch of dogs fighting each other, and we're being conditioned by our owners, which is the government, to kill, to destroy each other, to compete, because that's a good thing. That's seen as a virtue. But ask yourself this question, though. Do you really know what normal means? Normal does not mean good or bad. It just means common. Do whatever's common, regardless of if it's good or bad. So catch yourself. Stop saying that. Stop being normal. Remove yourself. One thing that you will struggle with is obviously conditioning your mind to think a certain way. And at the age that you're at, as a young man who's in his 20s, or a man who's in his 30s, or whatever, vice versa, if you're now discovering this and the light bulb turns on and it's like, damn, how do I undo my bad habits? I've been doing them for so long, 30 years. I've been doing my habits for 40 years. Really, you have to detox. You have to detox yourself. You got to go cold turkey for a little bit. Take it one day at a time, man. Number one thing that you have to do, though, is keep yourself away from people who don't have any good intentions as far as, being black pilled and supporting, where you're trying to go in your life. Some people don't want to hear the truth. Some people do want to hear the truth. Understand this. If a person is in the mainstream, they are not the truth. The truth is not normal. The truth is not popular. The truth does not get you all the girls. The truth does not get you all the money. You have to be aware of what I just said just now. Once you are understanding of the consequences of pursuing the truth, you should be okay. You should be okay with yourself. Don't be a slave to your desires. Don't be a slave in every sense of the word, man. School has taught you not to think. They taught you to follow directions. You've been inculcated with these orders so much that you think they're good. You are being bamboozled. You have to stop bamboozling yourself. And another thing is, man, we got too many insecure. I think I said this already. We got too many insecure people that think, I got a big ego, or I can't get with that, man. I really can't. But unfortunately, you're gonna have people who are going to misunderstand you. And hey, if we can clear it up in the future, hopefully we can. That's fine. But there's gonna be people that say things about you, you guys as well. You just gotta keep on moving, man. You gotta have thick skin. But yeah, man, it's all love to everybody, man, and just keep yourself moving forward. But this is Renegade #1. Like the video, share, subscribe, peace.